and they would just dump them into a mass grave. Did you see personally
any of that?
Like that?
See, I was in a neighborhood, how can I make the example? If between Lafayette and West Lafayette, you don't know what's going on the other side of the river. And so I had no TV, no lights, nothing. All the cell phones were dead. So we had no way to communicate. I had not a clue. I imagined what was going on, but until I saw CNN on Friday or so, I didn't know. And all of that help that's coming in is all based at the bottom of around the sea, around the wharf, where it's all coming in. That's where they've set up their distribution centers. That is not going to get up halfway up that mountain to these people that live in what I call neighborhoods, and it's all very, so overpopulated. But they had not seen anything, and I asked Martin. I said, "What's the possibility? Is there anybody in charge, I use the word mayor, but someone in charge in your area that will come and say you're going to get water tomorrow, you're going to get food tomorrow?" And he said, "No, there is no one. See, there's no organization, there's no infrastructure, and they're strictly on their own." So what they would do probably is they do have motorcycles, which are much easier to get around in, and they could go down. They have to go downtown to these distribution centers, and the UN is also everything's situated near the sea, and see what they can carry back to their neighborhood. I think it's going to be days before they would ever get any aid.
If the earthquake didn't happen, how long were you planning on staying?
About 10 days. I was due to come home this week, this Wednesday.
And how often do you go down there?
I go about at least twice a year with St. E. School of Nursing on their March and spring break, and then I usually go another trip on my own. Not sponsored by anyone.
And the other two that are still down there, have you talked to them?
No, I didn't know they were there. I didn't know that they were not here. I thought that, and then I said, my daughter told me, she said, "Oh, you don't know what?" I said, "No, I don't know what's happening. I haven't been around any kind of communication whatsoever."
Right. And you got back into town?
I got to Indiana. I have a lot of friends there that also go to Haiti, so I called because I didn't even know when I was arriving, so I just called and said, "I'm at the airport. Can you pick me up?" And thank heavens I got somebody that was home. She came and picked me up. Cheryl Zelinka, Joe, her husband, goes to. He goes very often to Haiti, and their medical team is leaving February 2nd, so they're planning to go ahead and go, but they won't go. People are not going to be able to go into the mountains like we usually do. There's no road there now. And
when you came back here, what kind of a response did people?
Well, people were glad to see me. I guess I have to say this on television. John Jezierski, with his quote in the paper, was quite right. I thought, oh, they know me too well. I would have rode to Haiti if I had to. That there's always something we can do, and I have some thoughts and plans about how I can continue to help these people. They're wonderful, joyful people. 4 o'clock in the morning, they woke up singing Jay-Z, 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 and singing Hallelujah and praising God and thanking God to be alive. And they have a unique spirit. It's why I keep going back, because I'm always trying to discover what it is about those people. Have had nothing in their lives but oppression, assassinations, coups, no quality of life, but they have a spirit that is just unbelievable and unbeatable.
And people that want to help, you said you haven't set up a fund yet because the banks are closed.
I haven't. I've talked to Father Patrick, and I did, mention that St. Thomas has an earthquake relief fund set up, and they can go to the website if people want. This money will get where it's supposed to be, and that's, to me, is something I'm keen about. I've been doing fundraising and development in New York and other places, and it's just so important to get that money to the people, and then you don't lose your dollar, because I'm adamant about that. So St. Thomas has set up an earthquake relief. They can go on to St. Thomas Purdue website, make a donation. And I have not had the time or the opportunity yet to, because I want, if nothing else, Martin probably saved my life. And I promised him, when he was hopeless, he just felt so hopeless when he dropped me off at the embassy. And I said, I don't know if I'll see you again or not, but I make you a promise that we will build you a house. And for your mother and your daughter and your sister, your family. It's only one house, but it's a symbol, to me, it's a symbol of Haiti. One family desperate with, I'm saying nothing. Absolutely nothing. They don't know where their next bean is coming from.
Do you plan to go back there in the near future?
Oh, I'm sure I will. I'll have to talk to God about that. We'll see.
Last question, and then I'll let you go. What do you think in the coming days it's going to turn into? I mean, you have multiple governments trying to, that are in there. You have the UN, the U.S., the Haitian government. No one really knows who's in charge. People are going to get angry.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
They already are. They're angry, and it will spread. If I had stayed there, I would have guessed that I would have to negotiate getting out of that area, out of the neighborhood, and go. I would have gone to. I would have gone down to the UN facilities, or I have to go. And it's a good, probably 2 to 3 mile walk. But I've done that before, and I would go down there and beg for food. Because I don't think they're going to bring it to the neighborhoods. At least they're not able to do it. The streets, they've got so much to do, and everybody's working feverishly and nonstop. And it's wonderful to see the way that people work together when they have the willingness to do it and put all their pettiness aside. I know that there are people from Belgium there. I talked to a young woman who's with the UN from Pakistan. And she had her child with her, and she had just been sent to Haiti, and she needed to get her child out. So I talked to her at the embassy. So I think there's every country there: Venezuela, Brazil, France, and I'm proud of the U.S. the way they responded, and I'm also proud of the fact that Obama he's got his eye on this and keeping his eye on it. And it's really sad, some of the things that have been said about the Haitian people. That they're sinful people, and this is why it happened. Oh, how horrible. But there's a lot of hate in this world, and I want to be part of that solution and not part of the problem.
I guess I have one more question. I wanted to ask you, you said you just left your suitcase there. I mean, did you just leave everything behind and make
I did.
For the
I had a backpack with just my passport and a toothbrush and the basics to get by for one day at a time. And I knew if I left my suitcase behind that they could use whatever I did have. I don't take anything good to Haiti when I do go, but I'm sorry I didn't bring my camera because I did have some good pictures. And but I left everything, another suitcase, and I left all the vitamins and everything that I had they could pass out later. And I left it with Martin's mother, Leah, and she'll make good use of it. And she's a very strong, kind woman, and I trusted her. I'm grateful for the people here. This is not about me, and I just want people to think about and not forget what's going on a year from now, because the rebuilding won't even start for over a year. They've got to get rid of all those houses. They have to get rid of Port-au-Prince. It has to be dumped somewhere, and there's not much room to dump anything. And to keep in mind that this is a long-term process, and that we will continue to help.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.